Swami Ghanananda Saraswati. How a Ghanian became the first Hindu saint of African descent. As Prime Minister Narendra Modi visits Ghana today, marking the first visit by an Indian PM to the West African nation in 3 decades, few realize that this small country has long shared an unlikely spiritual link with India. That connection was forged not through diplomacy or trade, but by a trip-all-born Ghanaian who journeyed across continents in search of truth and returned home as a Hindu monk. Swami Ghanananda Saraswati. Born as Kwasi Asile on September 12, 1937, in Senya Baraka village in Ghana's central region, he came from a native African family deeply rooted in traditional tribal faith. But as colonial influence spread, Christianity began to sweep through the region, and his family, too, converted. Young Kwasi was raised in a Christian household, but he never confined his spiritual quest to a single doctrine. From early on, he devoured religious texts, first the Bible, then the Quran, and eventually Hindu scriptures like the Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads. The philosophical depth of Hinduism fascinated him, particularly its focus on karma, yoga, and moksha. In 1962, at the age of 25, he moved to Ghana's capital Accra and founded the Divine Mystic Path Society, an organization dedicated to God and inner exploration. But his desire to understand the soul of Hinduism took him much farther, all the way to Rishikesh in the early 1970s. There, in the Himalayan foothills, he met Swami Krishnananda Saraswati, one of the most revered spiritual teachers. Under his guidance, Kwasi underwent rigorous spiritual training, immersing himself in the yogic and philosophical traditions of Sanatana Dharma. In 1975, he was formally initiated into the Hindu monastic order and given the name Swami Ghanananda Saraswati, a tribute to his homeland. He thus became the first person of African origin to be ordained as a Hindu sannyasi sage. His guru's instruction was simple yet profound, i.e., take the ancient knowledge back to Ghana and plant its seeds in African soil. That is exactly what Swami Ghanananda did. Upon his return, he began preaching Hinduism not just to the Indian diaspora, but also to native Ghanaians. He spoke of karma and compassion, of detachment and discipline, not as exotic Eastern ideas, but as universal truths. He adopted a uniquely inclusive approach, blending African culture and Hindu spirituality. His bhajans were sung in local dialects, and Hindu rituals were conducted with a distinctly Ghanaian flavor. In 1975, he established the African Hindu monastery in Accra, the first of its kind on the continent. It quickly grew into a spiritual hub. Over the years, he built 5 Hindu temples across Ghana, where deities like Lord Ganesha, Shiva, and Krishna are worshipped. Festivals such as Ganesh Chaturthi began to be celebrated with great devotion, complete with idol processions and immersion ceremonies. Apart from worship, Swami Ghanananda also connected Hindu institutions with education, healthcare, and community service. He ran medical camps, opened schools, and built community halls. By the 2000s, he had inspired thousands of native Ghanaians to embrace Hinduism. As of 2021, Ghana was home to around 30,000 Hindus, at least 10,000 of whom were indigenous Africans, a staggering number considering Hinduism's limited presence in West Africa. Swipe left for next video. Swami Ghanananda's genius lay in making Hinduism feel familiar. His teachings never demanded conversion through rejection but encouraged spiritual evolution through understanding. He did not erase Ghanaian culture, he embraced it, weaving Hinduism into its rhythm. His life became a bridge between Africa and India, and a testament to the fact that truth needs no passport. Swami Ghanananda passed away on January 18, 2016, but his spiritual empire remains alive and growing. The temples, monasteries, and community centers he founded continue to serve both Indian and Ghanaian followers. His disciples have taken up his mission, and the story of the tribal boy who became a Hindu saint lives on in Ghana's rising tide of faith. Latest blogs.